Hi, I'm Rowdy.
And I'm Dave.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Positive Empowerment Moment.
Good to have you here.
Dave, hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about a post that was given out by the Positive Empowerment Initiative. I want to talk about broken inside.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on that? Will you explain that a little bit?
That post it's actually kind of funny because if you look at the image, and let's go ahead and show you the image right now.
Okay.
The image is, it's actually my daughter's car.
Okay.
And the car is pretty old. And it was actually given to her by her uncle, by my brother-in-law, which was really nice, but it's pretty old.
Right.
It's super old. So that photo was actually taken. She went to close the door, or she actually opened the door to go to school, and all of a sudden, that interior part of that door just fell out.
Okay.
And she just kind of called. She's like, "What do I do?" Anyway, so of course, like a good dad, I just went out there and started snapping photos.
Sure. Like a great dad. You don't want to fix it. You just want to snap a photo first.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then it has to go on social media. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it has to. Anyway, so that was all part of the fun, and we weren't hashed on her or anything. It was all right. But as I thought about that image, I thought, isn't that interesting how on the outside you close that door and there's nothing bad. There's nothing,
Right.
You can't tell that there's any damage. But on the inside, I mean, when she's sitting there with the wheel, whatever, this thing's all just kind of sliding there, and you can see all the wiring and all this other stuff. It's like on the inside, it's thrashed. On the outside, it looks
fine.
yeah.
So if I were to be standing on the street and your daughter were to drive by and I were to look at this car, I would not even realize that anything was going on the inside.
That's exactly right. She'd probably, honk, hi, and smile.
Right.
And just know that right there is all this damage.
It's close to the surface, just not seen by somebody looking in.
Exactly.
Wow.
And part of it, I think, is that she would intentionally want to hide that.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's like she's got this super old car that's kind of trashed.
Right. Huh. Interesting. And I, when I read that and I look at that picture, I think, oh my gosh, I think everybody on some level has that same issue personally versus, intrinsically versus extrinsically, where they are, on the inside, they're not doing well, maybe for whatever reason, but on the outside they project or portray this image that they are fine, everything's groovy, everything's great, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I know I'm the same way. You know what, and I think about that sometimes, and I think everybody, I don't think I would know anybody that's not doing that on some level, right?
Totally.
Whether it's like, what I think of is sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're like, you know what, I'm just not doing well today. But tomorrow I'm doing great, the next day I do great, but today I'm just not doing well, but I got to go to work, I got to do this, I got to pick kids up, I got to, be a dad, I got to be a mom. And so I'm going to just smile and wave, right?
Exactly.
Smile and wave, boys.
Yep.
And we all portray that, but on the inside we're just damaged or we're broken. I like the word broken. But how long we are, or as far as whether that's a 1 day or a 1 month thing, I think that kind of can self-destruct us.
I think that's the issue.
Right.
I think all of us have bad days.
Yes.
All of us wake up on the wrong side of the bed. All of us have something that happened in our lives that make us feel crappy.
Right.
It's one of those things though where, because you're right, it's like you have to go to work.
Yes.
You have to be a mom.
Yes.
You have to be a dad. You have to fulfill these responsibilities, and so you put on that smiley face, and yet it doesn't help you feel better.
Right.
So you get out and do stuff, which is better than not doing stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
But still, you don't feel better, and so you smile and wave. I think it reminds me of some of this communication theory. Can I get a little bit theoretical?
Get theoretical, Dave.
In communication theory, there's this idea of a public self and a private self.
Okay.
And the private self is the one that has all your hidden secrets, and the public self is the one that everybody sees, right? And obviously they're different. And I think part of it is that we want to keep secret the crappy parts of our lives. We don't want other people to portray it, but that could be bad, don't you think?
Absolutely. It can be very self-destructive.
So what do you think as far as, how do you balance that? How do you say, well, I want people to see my trashy car, or I want to have people know about my trashy insides or the crap that's going on inside my mind?
Right. That's a good question. I think right offhand, probably the biggest thing is, I think for me, it would be to realize for myself that other people are doing the exact same thing. And so it's really not that abnormal to feel what I'm feeling. And so for me to understand that personally, I would be like, hey, this person's probably going through the same thing, and I feel comfortable with this person. I'm going to open up. I'm going to tell them. I'm going to show them my trashy side. Can I say that? I'm going to show them my trashy side. Maybe not, but I can show them the parts of me that are broken. Maybe I'll word it that way. Show them the parts of me that are broken, the parts that I hide because of fear of judgment or whatever.
Well, and that's what's so funny about it is everybody does the same thing, and so everyone has their public self that they're portraying to you, and so we have this idea that everybody else is doing fine. It's like we trust their public self,
Yes.
not realizing that they also have that private self and they also have that trashy inside stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so we have this idea that, oh man, I'm the only one that's struggling.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's going through crap right now. I'm the only car on the road with an interior that's damaged. And yet we have no idea.
Right. Nobody knows.
That's right.
And you know, when we were talking beforehand, we brought up the fact that I think we made a comment about pulling a Robin Williams. Sure. You know, I think he's the one that comes to mind for me when I read this post and when we talked about it was, what a funny guy, right? From the outside, he was famous. He had everything that we think that everybody should have, fame, fortune. He was happy all the time. He made everybody laugh. But on the inside, probably trash. Probably just like, wow, went through his moments where he was completely broken and alone.
Sure.
But, and maybe that all of that needed, and again, I don't know, but maybe all he needed to do was communicate that with somebody.
Sure.
Maybe.
And that's the hardest part about it is you think, how can a person be alone when they're around so many people?
Right.
And that's that issue, right?
Yeah.
It's because you feel alone and yet you have that public self. It's almost like you're in, like Robin Williams, you're acting.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, everything's fine.
Yep.
Everything's good. Nanu, nanu.
Nanu.
That's my best.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. Yeah. Even though it's like 40 years old, right?
That's all right. Some people get it. Some people get it. Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, we all do it, right? We act.
Yes.
We're all actors. Well, I got to put on this show to show that I'm okay. I'm alone in front of all these people.
Yeah. Put on my mask and get on stage.
Absolutely.
I can't remember who said that. Some philosopher.
It sounds good to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's the philosophy of Rowdy, but that's okay.
No, I read it somewhere.
Okay, good.
The few times I've read something. But yeah, no, that's exactly right. We put on our masks, we get on stage of life, and we act because we don't want people to see what's inside.
So to me, I mean, what take-home messages? What can we learn from this? I think number one, we can learn that everybody does it,
Absolutely.
and we can't just trust people's public self and think we're the only ones that are struggling. There's tons of people struggling.
Right. Yep.
What about the other thing? Maybe if we have some destructive stuff going on inside our minds, we got to share.
Absolutely. You got to share it with somebody, whether that is you are going to therapy and you're talking to somebody about it professionally, or you've got that best friend that you say, hey, you know what? Let me buy you a steak and a Pepsi. I don't know. And
Maybe for lunch, huh?
Or for lunch. And hey, I need you to listen to what I'm saying because I'm not doing well right now.
Sure.
I think those two right there, I think you're hitting the nail on the head.
Absolutely. I think that's the key to it.
Yep.
Mental health.
Yes.
Is for some reason for us we want to keep it on the inside, and there's no reason why we can't. We're a social people. We're
Yes.
social creatures. We have family. We have friends. We have people that care about us. There are people that care about you. There's people that care about me. There's people that care about you.
Right.
Talk to those people and don't feel like you're a burden.
Right.
Because you're, hey, I've got, and you could use the big words, right?
Oh, absolutely. Use big words.
I know I've been portraying a public self, but in my private self. Anyway, I mean, you get it.
Right.
Just talk it over with people.
Yeah. Translation. Open your door and let somebody see your door panel.
There you go. That's right. Open the door and let it fall out.
Let it fall out.
Yep, that's
this
right.
is my door panel.
Let people see your internal wiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Internal wiring. Yes.
It's like the brain.
My
right?
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. So I think that's a good takeaway for
Perfect.
that. Yep.
Cool.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on it? Maybe you got some better ideas. Maybe you got something that you want to share. Go ahead and message. Go ahead and respond to this. Like us. We're on every social media thing,
That's
right?
right. Positive Empower.
Yep.
Is that's what it is everywhere.
Positive Empower. Yep. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Snapchat, we're on Reddit, Twitter. Yeah, we're all over the
Yep.
place.
And subscribe and like this YouTube channel because we're going to do a lot more of this stuff.
Sounds good.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
See ya.